India, a cultural hotspot filled with flourishing languages, delicious foods, beautiful colors, and humans, each living their own unique life. In recent years, the lives of many women in India have been consumed by one specific industry: surrogacy. Surrogacy and egg donation have become a common income for women of India. Compensation for reproductive tourism is appealing to these women, especially those in need of money, those whose husbands have died or abandoned them, and those with families of their own. Low-paying jobs such as housekeeping, making barely $50 to $70 a month, is not nearly enough to support a family. Familial and motherly duties are still expected of these women, including cooking, cleaning, caring for children, and supporting and serving their husbands. Although these women are subjected to intense medical procedures, the protection of their rights and voices in the matter are mainly absent. Couples from international locations are coming to India in pursuit of ART, or Assisted Reproduction Technology Services. As international surrogacy becomes more popular, doctors and stakeholders urged India's government to enforce stricter laws and regulations on ART clinics. In response, the Indian Council for Medical Research drafted the Draft ART Regulation Bill and Rules in 2008. This draft was revised again in 2010 with significant changes. The 2008 version of the bill had surrogates being paid in 3 installments, of which 75% of the payments came in the first installment. However, the 2010 version revised this to 5 installments, of which 75% of the payment is given in the last installment. Because surrogacy involves eggs and sperm of another couple being inserted into the womb of multiple women to see which one develops the best, some women are surrogates for children who never see their actual parents. Along with the sad realization that these children end up in orphanages with no family, the women carrying these children are not paid the full amount because, after all that physical and emotional labor, they did not deliver the product to their client. This ART bill is still awaiting a decision in India's parliament. With no real laws or bills regulating surrogacy, many women are subject to scams, illegal procedures, and contracts that are falsified, inaccurate, or simply non-existent. Information about procedures, compensation, and health and safety factors are often not disclosed to these women, resulting in these women putting their bodies on the line in hopes of a payout big enough to sustain their lives and families. The globalization of motherhood has brought positive and negative effects to communities around the world. The hope of parenthood through a surrogate to those who are unable to conceive is a joyous realization. The possibility of monetary compensation to those who need it is also a hopeful influence to some women, and they gladly accept surrogacy as a way of life and income. Unfortunately, not all situations are positive. Many women feel their reproductive powers are minimized and their bodies commercialized for others' gains. Their voices are not heard, their concerns not listened to, and their bodies compared to empty spaces available for rent. The risks of pregnancy, labor, and the emotional toll associated with these are dangerously downplayed and hidden from the public and media. In support groups, much like the one researcher Daisy Diamampo attended in 2013, the women of Mumbai, India, meet to discuss their experiences and voices with each other about surrogacy. Diamampo asks one question: what changes would you like to see in the current surrogacy practices in India? The discussion led to topics such as low compensation, mental health, physical health, and the relationship between surrogates and clients. These women believe they should be getting paid more and more consistently, they should be provided more resources and mental health care, and that the relationship between clients, lawyers, and the surrogates should be increased, as the connection between all active parties validates their work and makes them feel like real humans helping another couple instead of a product-producing machine. Even with all these concerns, the voices of these women are lost in policymaking. To this day, the draft ART bill remains in review, and thousands of women are struggling through the process of pregnancy, some by force from husbands or financial necessity, and all in hope of a better life as a result. Policy is not protective. There needs to be a change, and for Daisy Diamampo, this comes from the power of storytelling. She states, quote, "Empirical and ethnographic researchers have the potential to make important contributions to policymaking. Such research can influence policy by grounding the conversation in the lived experiences of women, rather than in abstract principles or rules." End quote. The lived experiences of these women have power, and when shared, they can influence changes of good in the lives of so many, including the strong Indian women who share their wombs, not for rent, but for good.